Minor, written by Sonny Clark. He's from Pittsburgh. I'm from also Pittsburgh, so that's a little special to me. He's an unsung hard bop hero, under-recognized, but the jazz community is just crazy about him. So we'll play a snippet of that and see if you dig it.
I'm sure we will. Jeff, thanks so much. A pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And you'll hear that in just a couple of minutes. As we come to a close, Tina, you've written more about the royal family, studied them more in several books than many, many people. As you're here, Prince Harry's extraordinary interview with the BBC this week, saying his father won't talk to him, deeply unhappy about not being allowed to have security. Buckingham Palace have said, look, these issues have been examined many times in the courts with the same conclusion reached every time. What did you think when you saw that interview?
Well, what I thought was that after 5 years, Harry is still at war with his original mistake. And every time he goes on the air, he makes another one. So it's like he is now trapped in this terrible cycle of doubling down on the original mistake. He was told so clearly when he was considering leaving by the palace at that time, the security won't be paid for anymore. He was told it again and again. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to listen to it. I think he thought he could just blow it off and in his reckless, sort of hot-headed Harry Hotspur way, charged out of the royal family with all of these issues completely unresolved. There was no way that this court was going to go against the findings of the security, the police. They're not going to go against that. And they're not going to go up against the police, against the royal family or the police. And secondly, I didn't hear two very crucial words in that entire sort of Jeremiah about, I'd like to reconcile was, I'm sorry. I mean, he never said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I caused my family all of this pain. That is really what they're upset about, not the security.
And he's had this long-running fight over that, but of course also a long-running fight with the press. And I know that's something that you are thinking about what's going on with the press a lot at the moment.
Yes, I'm going to be hosting on Wednesday the Truth Tellers Summit in Investigative Journalism to honour my husband, Sir Harry Evans' legacy. And we have an incredible day where we're looking at what's happening to the press because we are under assault in the US, completely under assault. I mean, Trump has just gone for the journalistic jugular. We're in a situation now where, public funding, for public broadcasting has now been completely cut. He's gone to war with universities. He's gone to war with, making it easier for journalists to be subpoenaed for their records. It's really become a very scary situation. Rather as if we were sort of heading for the kind of authoritarian atmosphere that we've actually featured on our stage before. This year, actually, we have Yulia Navalny, which is very exciting. We have Jeff Goldberg, who, of course, the editor man of the hour, who was included in the Signal chat. And we have Alistair Campbell interviewing James Carville.
Sounds like a very busy agenda. Just very briefly to you two, finally, do you worry about what's happening with the press in the States? Christina, briefly. With the press, what's going on in the press?
Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely see what's happening there is that, Trump has just decided to ignore reality and ignore the truth. And it must be incredibly hard. But I'm worried that the press are, in some ways, kind of acquiescing to that with a few notable exceptions. And that's incredibly worrying to see that.
All right. Well, a very interesting conversation. Justine, I'm afraid we're out of time. But thank you, all three of us, so much for joining us this morning. Thank you to all of my guests. And thank you, of course, most of all to you for watching at home after an extraordinary few days in politics. Goldblum to take us out.
1, 2, 3, 4.